Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're running just a couple seconds late, but here we are, and that's all that matters. Here from sunny Florida. Well, actually, it's not sunny right now. So, a couple of things before we get started. I'm Deb with Paint and Chill, and this is Nick. Come and say hi. This is the behind the scenes, behind the scenes fiance, and he's going to actually do a little bit of Family Feud with us tonight. So I'm glad that you guys decided to join us. Glad for the last minute people that changed their mind and figured, what the heck, it's raining. What are we going to do? It is raining and storming here in Florida. So thank you for that. It is raining here in Florida. So a couple things. If all of a sudden, we leave, it's not because of something you said, it's because the power went out. And if you hear crying, that's the cat who's scared of the storms. And so just hang in there with us. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. It means the world to us. We've actually been running Paint and Chill since 2014. We've been, we have a lot of in-person paint parties that we absolutely loved. So trying the virtual thing is something a little bit new for us. And if you see me keep looking off over there, it's because he's always up to something over there. But so it's a little different for us to do the virtual. We are so used to being able to be there, get the feedback, and see how people are doing. So if every now and then you'll just drop us a comment, let us know if you need anything. I'm a speed talker, so you might sometimes have to remind me to slow down. But if you need anything, you're lost, you get behind, just let us know, because since we can't walk around and see you, I hope we can soon. Then I can't tell if you need anything unless you just reach out and let me know. Okay?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, there was one more thing I was going to say.
Double thumbs up.
Oh, yeah. So I did want to say that today is actually National Self-Love Day. And so I'm really proud of everyone.
Love me.
I know you do. You're probably your biggest cheerleader. We actually just got engaged. Ta-da!
I don't have
December
anything
2nd.
yet.
So we're really glad you joined us. But it is seriously National Self-Love Day. So before you get paint all over your hands, everybody take your hand, give yourself a big pat on the back for taking the time out today to give yourself some self-love, to get some therapy and some peace through painting. We find it very relaxing and peaceful ourselves. And so I'm really super glad that you guys are taking the time out, that you're spending the evening with us, and that you decided on this cute little Love on the Lookout painting. If you're painting with us, this is one of the paintings that we always want you to use your own creativity and individuality, but it's definitely one of those paintings where you can choose your colors and you can choose how big you want the heart to be, what color you want it to be, what color you want the car to be. We'll talk about kind of all those things as we go along. But
hey, what are we painting tonight?
Okay, so we're going to jump right into painting because Nick is very impatient. Tonight, ta-da! We are painting the Love on the Lookout. We both work in the car industry, and so anything to do with cars we absolutely love. So this is Love on the Lookout. And I did send patterns to a couple of people. If you still need the pattern, just send us a message and we can go ahead and get that over to you. It's probably a lot of our friends are really super good at freehanding. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to do that too. And we hope that if you're painting with us tonight, please be sure to send us the paintings afterwards so we can enjoy them over our margaritas later. And if you decide you're just watching tonight and painting another time, please still send us the paintings at some other time. We just really appreciate it. So the first thing we're going to do, if I emailed you the pattern or sent you the pattern in Facebook message, I have a one-piece pattern. You have a four-piece pattern. And so your pattern, when it prints out, is probably on the top, and the bottom and the right-hand side is an inch on the wrong kind of side. And on the left-hand side, it's like an inch and a half. So just line it up on your canvas. It's a 16 by 20 canvas. And just line it up on your canvas however you feel it lines up best. And so because of that pattern, you can make your tree way up here or further down here, or however you want to do it. So the best way to transfer the pattern over is with graphite paper. I do have graphite paper that is 16 by 20, but if you don't and you have the pattern and you don't have graphite paper, the other thing that you can do is you can cut out the pieces. Just use your pattern because you'll have it electronically if you want to print it out again later. Just cut out the moon and place it. Cut out the little card and just trace around it either with a pencil faintly or you can go around all of these things over here. You can go around it with a black marker or with black paint. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down flat. Can they see it if I lay it down flat?
Let's see. Maybe turn it the other way. Hang on. Let's see.
Okay. All right. So if you do have graphite paper, which I recommend, there's a shiny side, and so the shiny side goes down, and then the pattern goes on top of it. Okay. I don't use a pencil or a pen on my patterns because it tends to go through the pattern and then it ruins the pattern. Of course, you have it electronically, so you'll be able to reprint it anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and trace my pattern on here. I usually just use a skewer, and I don't use a pen or a pencil when I'm tracing it through it with the graphite paper. But if you are if you have to cut yours out, just go ahead and do that. Put it on your canvas and then just trace around it. So we're going to take just a moment and do that so everybody can catch up. And so if you have any questions about the pattern or what I mean by anything I just described, send it in the comments. And if you need the pattern, send it in the comments. And we're going to take just a minute and a half to do that. Okay?
I'm going to fix this camera because
and Nick is fixing the camera.
We got to get more space over here. Sorry about the wire, guys, but live production. Let's see if that works. Yeah, let's see. Okay, hang on. Look at that.
Voila! They can see my beautiful engagement ring like that. Wait, can they see my roots too? Oh my God. I'm going to step back this way so you just see my hands and not my roots.
Yeah, we'll just tilt the camera a little bit this way. Okay. You keep doing that, and I
am going to use that black canvas in just a minute.
You are?
Uh-huh.
All right, you do that. I'm going to talk to the people at home.
Okay, you talk to them.
So I'm going to walk over here.
Okay, you walk over here while I trace this couple.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do, let's do our first trivia question. Want to do that?
We can do that, and then whoever gets the highest score with trivia, I'm actually going to send them, email them a gift card. So make sure I have your email.
Okay, so we're going to do a Family Feud question. And then I'm also going to put the question in on the comments so you can read it. And so for later on, the top 3 answers, we'll accept the top 3, but the top 1 will be the actual winner. All right, so here is question number 1. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We asked, well, not we, but the card has that, not the card itself.
What's the guy's name?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Survey says,
asked 100 married women, name something you've been wishing for years your husband would do.
Okay. All right.
So since it's Valentine's Day,
right,
it's a good question.
Right.
I'll read the question one more time.
Well, it could be significant other, not husband. So it could be, it could be.
I'm reading it. I'm only reading it from the card. You can yell Steve Harvey. I'm just going to read it.
Significant other. We're going with significant other.
Okay. We asked
because some people aren't married, like us.
100 married women.
Oh, they asked married women. Okay, all right. We'll go with married women. Okay.
Name something you've been wishing for years you'd wish your husband would do.
Get out of the way so I can show them his names. One.
All
Okay. All right. So while he's going to type that in there, and you guys can type in the comments what you think the answer is. Can they see that?
I got one person said a clean house. And hey, that's number 2 on the list.
This is what the painting, this is what the pattern looks like. Can they see this okay?
Yeah.
Have enough light on? This is what the pattern looks like drawn onto the canvas. So that's where we're at. If anybody needs anything, I actually am missing one item if you'll pass me a styrofoam tray. All right. How are we going to survey question? All right, clean the house. What was clean the house? What number was it?
Number 2.
Number 2, and
that's it.
okay, and then my mama's usually on there. Where is she at?
Let me see here.
All right, and other people are texting us the answers too. So, okay. Hair off of here.
Sorry.
I didn't get her little head.
I didn't.
Her head on the Volkswagen here.
Clean the house. Survey says number 2.
All right. Okay. So what we're going to do next, actually, is if you have a black fine point permanent marker, that would be great. If you don't, you can use a black smaller brush if you have it. Smaller brush with a smaller area to it, or you can use probably a black ballpoint pen, and we're just going to go around the outline of the tree and the car and the couple, because they're going to be painted in black anyway. And the reason we're going to go ahead and do that is because we're doing the whole sky in just a little bit. And so we want to be able to know where the people are that we just traced and that we're going to paint. So I'm going to go around. There are paint pens meant for canvas that work a little bit better. Sometimes those paint pens, you kind of have to shake them up, and then when you go to use them, they go all over the canvas.
How do they go?
They really do. Seriously, you know that. You've seen it happen before. So I tonight am going to use the fine point black Sharpie and go around the tree trunk, the car, and the couple. Okay, so let's take a minute to do that. Any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it, please send it in a comment or continue to text me on my phone or go on Messenger, whichever one you want. Okay?
Let me go to this camera shot so we just... Here we go. Yeah, that's better.
I'm going to give my girl big hips because,
big hips don't lie.
It's much more realistic. She's going to have big hips and flowing hair.
All right. And if you're watching this after we have done this, please put some comments in. Let us know how we did, how you did.
Yeah, what you like, what you don't like.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Recipes. We love good recipes.
Recipes.
Good jokes. We'll steal them and call them our own. But
absolutely.
Send good jokes. Okay, and then the tree trunk.
Very good.
All right, and then I'm just going to go light around the tree. I don't want it to be too dark on the outside here.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this.
All right.
Oops, there we go.
All right, is everyone caught up to that point? So
yep.
We're really just going around the couple and the car and the tree. I did it kind of lightly there. Because then we're going to do the sky over everything, and we just want to have our guidelines there. Okay. All right. So the sky is actually a pretty color called cobalt blue. Where'd my cobalt blue go? It's called cobalt blue. Super pretty color, but the sky can be whatever color you decided that sky should be. It doesn't have to be so dark. You can make it, you know, whatever combination you want to be. And when you're putting it on there, just kind of, I'll show you, we're just going to kind of stroke it back and forth, because when you're looking at the sky, it's not usually a solid color anyway. It does kind of have some lighter and darker colors in it. And so that's kind of what we're going to do. All right. So I have the moon here. We've sketched it or cut it out and put it on here, however, whatever it is you decide to do with the moon. But for me, I found out that my moon is about the same size of the white styrofoam cups that we use for coffee. Probably the same size as like a red Solo cup, if that's what you're using for your water, to put your water in. And or this is what I used to put my water in. It's about that size. So when I know something like that, then I'll usually just put it right there on my I'll put it right there on my canvas, so that I can just swap my paint around it and not have to worry too much about going in it. But the moon is seldom solid white anyway, so it's going to have some blue clouds kind of in front of it. If you go into that area, it doesn't really matter anyway. Mwah! This is my adorable balloon I got today for Valentine's Day. Isn't he so cute? Yes, I'm so cute. I love him. He's adorable.
You guys show
I've
him.
been sleeping with him. I was tired when I came home. So I'm going to just put down. I just use these styrofoam trays because they don't drink up the paint, and then I like to mix colors together anyway. So I'm just going to put down, since we're doing a kind of a big area, I'm slopping down a bunch of the cobalt blue to just kind of go over it. And I'm going to put a little bit of white also. And I'm going to use a bigger, one of the bigger, wider brushes like this. I don't like for people to feel obliged to have to go out and buy a bunch of brushes. I have a bunch of brushes because we've been painting for 7 years now. So I have a bunch of brushes. I have my favorite brushes that I take really good care of, and Nick has his favorite brushes that he doesn't really take very good care of.
Using my favorite brush.
Oh, well,
right?
that's okay.
That's
all right. So anyway, I don't like for people to feel like they have to spend a lot on art supplies. I actually had the sweetest lady who I hope she'll join us again soon, show up a couple of classes ago, and she just wanted to paint. She was just like, I just got to start painting again. She could not for the life of her find her brushes that she knew she had, so she used her makeup brushes. So whatever you have, if you have the big fat house paint brushes, like the 1.5 or 2 inch house paint brushes, can I have one of those over there behind there so I can show them? Thank you. If you have a brush like this is almost usually what I use to do the background with. Actually, maybe I will use it to do the background. So it does cover, when you have a big sky and water area, it does cover a lot of area, and it holds a lot of paint. So we're going to just go ahead and paint blue. We're going to paint the all across the sky. As you're going across this area with the cup on it, you're just going to kind of go around it. You can go over this area here. You will be able to still see through it. And then just down here.
Let me help you out. Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or you can lay it flat. So
and then down here where it had those little. Will you give me a bottle of water? Do you mind? Thank you. And then down here where it had the little.
Does that count?
Random. Thank you. Where it had the little random. Thank you. Where it had the little random slash marks on your pattern. That's kind of where the edge of the grassy area is. So when you're kind of, don't go into kind of that little grassy area right here. You will come all the way down past this is your water line here, but you're going to paint that kind of the same color as the sky, and then we're just going to highlight it to make it look like water. But you'll still be able to see that line through there to kind of know where we're at. Okay, so we're going to paint all of this blue down into that area, which is going to look kind of like this. So we're going to paint all that blue. This is where the cup was at, and then all that. And you can see it's kind of the same color. We just use highlighting to kind of separate it, and that's the grassy area. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I should have, the last couple of people, I did not remember to send them an actual picture of the painting itself. So hopefully you have it on, hopefully you can see it on the website. Okay, I always get my, whatever paintbrush I'm using, I always do dip it in water first to get it just a little bit wet, and then hold it on your towel to get most of the water out of it, but not all. I put a little bit of white beside my blue because I usually double load it for the background of the sky. Since this is a darker color, I'm not going to double load as much as I usually do. But double loading is just you take the brush and you get just a little bit of each color on the brush. Anytime I'm going to start painting something, I do kind of just like pull the colors out so I kind of look like, is that kind of how I want it to look? And then just start painting and covering it. Be sure that you paint and cover along the edges as well. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and cover it. Again, I'm covering up my moon so I can kind of paint around it. Now, when I painted over my tree, I painted a little bit dark, and so I'm just going back over it, because if you go back over paint, I don't know if you can see that, then it picks it up. And so then I'll have it a little bit lighter there, so it won't be so hard to cover. I like to do things like that. It honestly was a mistake, but I like to make mistakes like that so that I can show you what you can do to kind of correct things. I have a loose hair coming off my brush there.
Again.
It was definitely the paintbrush. And when you're going around the moon, you can just go around it like this, because as you can see from the painting, that's kind of what happens anyway. The moonshine is kind of cast out that way. All right, so we're going to take just a couple minutes to do the background. Nick probably has another Family Feud question for us.
Do?
You do?
I do. All right.
You can kind of loosely go into the cliff area, and then we're going to go back and refine it later. Here.
All right.
Now my hair came off in there. Oh no.
She's shedding.
I should have left the hair there. It looks like some kind of monster or something. Okay, what's your next question?
All right, my next question is, remember, this is family friendly. Keep it friendly and family.
Family friendly.
Family, it's a family thing.
It's a family affair. Oh, I can't sing, that's right.
Name a place you should never, and I repeat, never stick your finger. Interesting. Okay. And I'll repeat that. Keep it clean, folks. You know, for the kiddos, gotta keep it clean.
And remember, the one with the highest score, we have a prize. We will be emailing you.
Name a place you should never stick your finger. You ever thought?
Oh, your nose.
You can't say the.
Oh, you said that I have a thought.
Yeah, I didn't say you could speak it. Just keep.
Sorry. Take it back. I take it back.
All right, I'm gonna put this in the comments.
Can we rewind it? All right. Oops, knocked my own paint over. All right, Anita, sit in your ear.
Where did you see that?
You sit on my phone. All right, remember to do the edges. And Brittany said in a light socket, never in a light socket.
I was going to say your butt, but that's not
family friendly.
No.
Oh, I just painted the pole there. Okay.
What?
Just painted the pole.
Don't paint the pole.
Okay.
Keep it family friendly here.
Okay. All right. So again, we're painting all this kind of area blue. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to take my little cup off of there. And so it should look kind of, sort of, like this. the light on there makes it look like I have another moon on there too. Okay, so it should look kind of sort of like this. And then make sure you do the edges of it too. All right. So we're gonna let that dry a little bit. That'd be kind of an interesting pattern there. Anybody that's catching up, anybody that's caught up, I am going to show you a technique. You may already know how to do it, but I am going to show you a technique using a toothbrush to create background stars or background snow in just a minute too. So if you have an old toothbrush, while we have a little bit of downtime, go ahead and grab your old toothbrush, okay?
Don't
right.
get your husbands or boyfriends.
Significant
Or
others.
significant others.
So I'm just going to use one of my smaller brushes just to kind of go in and out of the little cliff area there, the little craggy areas. I'm just going to kind of go in there.
Okay.
Do you want to look on the other computer and see if you see any comments on the page?
I think we're doing good.
Okay.
We're doing good.
Okay.
Never stick your finger.
All right. What's the answer?
In an anthill.
Is that the number one answer?
No, I was just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Never stick your finger in a fire anthill.
I never thought that, but there's, I don't know, some of these things that people would think to stick their finger anyway. It's kind of
Never stick your finger in a toaster that's on.
That's true.
That would hurt.
That's true. Okay, so my hair, I'm losing hair like crazy. Look, there's another hair on here. All right, I'm gonna get
Looks like a bird or something.
I'm gonna get my. Look at the mark at me. I'm gonna get my hair off of my painting while you guys catch up because it's something's going on with my hair tonight. It keeps falling off onto the painting area. I should have tied it back.
You want one of these little things for your hair? Here. There you go.
Thank you.
Try that.
Oh, you took the little taggy off of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now maybe I won't have such a problem with it kind of falling on there.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody need it?
You sound a little parched.
Can I have a bottle of water? I need water, please. Okay. So I am done using this big old fat brush. And so the best thing I can do is just go ahead and rinse it out and get it out of my way. So I'm going to rinse it. And I'm going to change water because now we are going to be using white. And we want to make sure that our water is clean when we're using white. And so you'll probably want to change your water as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gracias. Gracias.
Wow, look, we got, is it Andrea on there? I think it is.
I can't see that far.
Yeah, she's got the number one answer.
What is it?
Light socket.
Light socket. I said light socket too. You said I couldn't participate. Good job. Good job. On Tuesday or Wednesday this week, I hope you guys can join us. We're doing a dragon and friend. He's so cute. And then next Saturday, the painting. Everyone that participates next Saturday and sends a picture of their painting is going to get an adorable little bracelet. One of these adorable little bracelets when they send us a picture of their painting. So that's going to be fun. Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't those adorable? All right. And so far, is it Andrea that's leading?
Well, she's got lights
Andrea is leading in the Family Feud. So far, she's going to get emailed a gift certificate. All right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is kind of separate the ocean water from the sky by using some highlighting. And so if you painted it so dark you don't see your sky anymore, you can tell. Here, I'll show you on this one. And if you don't have the pattern and didn't cut it out, or if you're just winging it, the water starts, if you just do the letter L for love on the lookout over here on the side here. Can you see L for lookout? It's about where your index finger bends. That's about where the water's at. Okay. Of course, you can put the water wherever you want. You can put it up on the beside the cliff or however you want to do it. All right. So we're going to take a little bit of on the list that the paint list I sent you. It says to use either the phthalo blue, which is super hard to find, and if you don't have that, just any darker blue you can use to make that little line in there.
What about blue with a little bit of black?
Blue with a little bit of black, and we will use black and a little bit to kind of shade it. You have to be careful with black because it gets so dark. So you could lighten up some of the cobalt with black if you want to, and do it that way. And so I'm just gonna again wet my brush and get the water mostly out of it, and I'm just gonna pick up. I'm gonna leave it a little bit wetter than I usually would. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the blue, the darker color blue. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more water so it's a little bit more watery like this. It's a little bit more watery. And then I'm just going to kind of go along the edge of the water line there. And sometimes you might have to just build it up. I'd rather do too little, like I just did, than too much on that water line. And if your paint isn't all the way dry, you can always use a hair dryer to dry it. If you want to change the paint color, if you don't like it or it's not enough, you do have to wait until the paint is dry to paint over it, but you can always paint over it. That's the good thing about paint. And because if you paint wet paint, it just picks up the original paint. Okay, so we're just going to kind of paint some just darker here. Mine's still just a little bit wet. When it dries, it's gonna look good like that. And then you can see from the painting along of the edges here, and the top and kind of here, and the sides and along the cliff are a little bit darker. So there we go. It's tricky being kind of backwards with the camera there. So I'm just going to do some of those edges a little bit darker too. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go into like the little cliff area with a little bit darker paint. And if it ends up looking like it's too dark, I can hear the cat snoring still. If it ends up looking to you like it's too dark, just leave him alone. He's fine. You can kind of go in with a paper towel and kind of smudge it in there a little bit. And again, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be one of the paintings where you're just going to have to experiment with some of this and just kind of trust your judgment on kind of how much to put in there. All right. And so we're going to put just a little bit more. We've been watching dumb TV. Dumb TV.
Don't do it.
Dumb TV. So we're just going to make this little area over here a little bit darker. Over on the side here, we're going to darken it up some. Maybe along the edge of the grass here, we're going to darken it up some. The edges of the sky, along the edges of the top, we're going to make just a little bit darker. All of this is just going to be personal choice, and it's probably going to be, you're probably going to want to just, after it's done, after the majority of the painting's done, kind of go back, and the painting usually will kind of tell you, believe it or not, well, even if you painted before, you know this, it'll kind of tell you where it wants the, darker and lighter colors to be. So I do some shading at this point, but not a whole lot. And so I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to paint the moon white. And it's going to pick up some of the outer colors. We're going to kind of swirl it around. I'm going to use this brush to do it, but again, you can use any brush. If you just have even the smaller brush, you can kind of do it around the edges, and it'll be absolutely fine that way. I have a hair in a white pink too.
Look what I got you.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet and
Happy
thoughtful.
best love of my life day.
Thank you. Love on the lookout.
See?
Thank you.
These smell so good.
They do smell so good.
Here, maybe at home you might want to smell them.
Smell it, everybody. Smell the roses.
Smells so good.
That's how you practice your. That's how you practice your breathing to relax and focus. Smell the flower, blow out the leaf.
Don't eat the leaf.
Is that your next question? I think that's going to be his next question.
No, we want another question? I mean, I want to use them all up here. How much more we got to go?
No, I'm going to do this right now. Then we'll do another question.
Okay.
So we're going to paint the moon white, and then we're going to use the brush a little wet, and we're just going to dip into that original cobalt blue, and we're going to make kind of the circle, the moonlight around the moon. So it'll kind of look like that. And again, you can make it super dramatic circle around the moon, or you can make it nice and light. And kind of when you're looking at mine, you can kind of see there's some darker and lighter areas in there. I dropped a spot of water right there.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so you can see that kind of actually looks like a little starburst back in there. The good thing is you can paint over. Wow, that turned out really cute. And you can splot around on it, and it's going to be a second moon there.
It's going to be his thoughts over.
It's going to be a thought bubble.
Thought bubble.
I meant to put a thought bubble there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. That's why I always encourage creativity and doing it your way. Mix your paint until it's kind of the color blue the color white that you think might be around the edge of the moon, and then just kind of go lightly around it, around the outside. I'm just going to cast mine out over here. I don't like mine to be quite so thick like that, but I can go back in and fix it too. So to me, that's a little bit too much, but to you guys, it might be, you might like it like darker like that. I like for mine to be more of a transition. Okay.
Right.
I'm not even going to tell you what dumb movie that comes from.
But if you guessed what movie that is from,
right, you might be a redneck, honestly, if you guessed that. we have a special gift card. We have a special gift card for anybody that can guess what horrible movie we've been watching that's in. All right, so I didn't really like mine such a stark line like that. So I just went back and grabbed some more blue to add to it and added some water, and you can see that starts softening it up. And you might even want to bring it further into the moon, because kind of that's how moons kind of are. We'll just kind of soften up the edges there.
Is that a moon over Miami or?
This this is going to be California actually, because it's a cliff. We don't have cliffs in Florida.
No.
So, okay, so I kind of did my circle around my moon. I'm going to leave mine like this. I'm going to do the rest of the painting, and then I'm going to look and see if I like it like that.
What about the little air bubbles?
The air bubble, his little thought.
Is it her thought or his thought? All right, it's no one's thoughts now.
All right, there we go.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. It's perfect. I really honestly do like it when things like that happen, because I like to just show people that, one, we're not perfect, and just have a good time while you're painting as well. So we're going to go in. I don't see that, to me, it looks like it needs to be darker here to separate the water from the sky. So I'm just going to kind of go in there and just add a little bit darker line along the edge of here, so you can kind of tell more where the water is. And that again is just by, just mix your colors kind of together and see when it gets to the point where you kind of like it. And then you can use the edge of your brush to kind of come in and make some darker, kind of water delineation.
What was that word?
Delineation. Is that how you say it? Delineation. Right. And just kind of make it a little bit darker on the edges here.
Good. Oh, that's
to
good.
kind of make it more look like water.
Waves.
I am going to add just a little bit of black to it because it looks like it needs just a tiny bit darker, but not a whole lot of black because sometimes black wants to take over. All right, so I'm just going to use that for some shadowing here.
Yeah, I'll just do some good.
There we go.
Yeah, I could see that better.
And it's combined with the gray and the black, it kind of, gray and blue, it kind of comes out a grayish color anyway.
I like that.
So I'm just doing it kind of light. And that way, if I want to get darker, I know I can just go back and kind of add to it. All right.
All right.
Okay.
What's next?
How's everybody doing? Do you need help with anything? Do I need to slow down? Am I leaving you behind? Are you way ahead of me because I keep dropping my hair in the paint and dropping water on there? All right. So I'm going to use some of the white to put the white casting in the water. Same way we did. Oh, I thought that was the cat. All right. Just kind of get it, just kind of a little milky like that. And then I'm going to kind of just lay it on its side and just like, where would the moonshine be coming? It would kind of be coming like down through here. So to me, I think the moon would be kind of, the casting would be kind of coming down this way. So I just made my paint kind of wet, kind of milky, and just kind of let it sit on there like that. All right? I stop saying that.
I can't help it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to get clean water. So I'm going to take 2 minutes to do that. You guys can catch up, ask any questions that you need to ask, and then I'm going to show you a technique to make stars using a toothbrush, or you can use it to make snow using an old toothbrush. All right. So I'm going to give that just a minute. Close up the paint that I'm not using, because otherwise, when I get ready to use it, then it won't be clean to use. All right. So I do like to, when I'm transitioning into other colors, I like to just make sure that I'm getting everything I don't need out of my way. I don't need this big old paintbrush here anymore, so I'll put it over here out of the way. I don't need the marker anymore, so I'll put it out of the way. I don't want to get the lovely bracelets painted, so I'm going to put that out of the way. Thank you. That's the old one here. So I'm just going to wait for this to dry just a little bit and put all this out of the way. And we can use more paper towels. Thank you. Take a water break. Ah, very good. I don't want to speed through it either.
Okay.
I'll actually take another tray for paint.
Here's tray.
Tray. Gracias. Don't throw that away, though. I'm going to use it.
Next question.
Next question.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Next question is, well, you keep working there. Okay. Next question. Here we go, folks. Name a place in your house that you have never cleaned under.
Can I say?
No, you cannot. Because then, no. The question is,
this
number
painting.
3. This room.
This room.
Name a place in your house that you have never cleaned under. Top 3 answers. Good.
Okay. Oh, the cat decided that he'd join us. All right. Are you going to type it in there? All right. While he types it in there, oh, I'm going to show you the weight. That's what I was going to show you. The weight. I just said I was going to do that. So you want to make sure you have clean water. So for that, we're just going to put a pile of white here. I love titanium white. White makes all the difference. And we're going to get a toothbrush and get it wet and do the same thing we do with our paintbrush. Just get the extra water out of it. Get the extra water out of it. And then you're going to load it. Just put it flat down in there. Like that. Actually, where's my black canvas? Can I have my black canvas so I can show them the black canvas first? It'll show it better there. Thank you. Okay, so you're going to load it like that with it flat while we wait for our answers here. And then you're going to take your thumb and you're just going to rake it across the toothbrush. Paint it, point it at the painting, of course. Okay?
The washing machine.
Washing machine. I honestly was going to say probably the refrigerator because you can't get the stupid thing
You
out.
cannot answer
I
these
can't
questions.
I take it back. Kitty, what are you doing? Okay. And this is how we do the so you're just going to rake it that way and point it at the painting, of course. So if you do like this, you can see it kind of spatters on there. If you have it, this right here is if you have it too wet or you have or you reach down in too far. So before you do it for the first time on any painting, you definitely want to try it on your another canvas or a paper plate or something first. Okay, so I'm going to use that method to put stars down really quick, and then I'm going to tell you a different method too while we see who our winner is for that, for our current family feud. Okay, so I'm just going to spray it across here. It's going to be skies. You can see in mine I had too wet, so I'll have to take that out of there, but no biggie. And the other thing that you can do, or you can do this for snow, or for the stars. And if you make a blob like that, perfectly fine. We're just going to take it out of there. Just sop it up with yours while it is still wet. Sop it up with your paper towel, and we'll just paint back over with the blue. All right. It's going to look like a cluster there. Okay. All right. So that's kind of how you do that. And let's see. Will you pass me back my tray, my plate, my palette? All right. And so I'm just going to kind of go back over this little area here. See, it's easily covered. And because the sky always has different levels to it. All right, and there we go. Oh, Brittany said the bathroom sink.
Okay.
Ta-da! All right, so one other way that you can make stars is, you can use the skewer, or you can use the end of one of your paintbrushes that has a smaller end to it, and just dab it into the paint. And you just go into the paint and onto the canvas, into the paint and onto the canvas, into the paint and onto the canvas, and just dot around that way. You could even get brave with these and make like the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper or Orion or something like that if you were brave, or make a little heart out there or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave the little stars all like that. You can have that back. Thank you. And then the next color we're going to use, the next thing we're going to do is the tree, the heart tree. So the color that we use is bright red. I use bright red a lot because the bright red in any brand, Apple Barrel, Ceramic Coat, or whatever, is just a beautiful, brilliant, nice color. So I'm going to splot some of that down. And for this, we're gonna stipple. And what stipple means is you just dip it into paint, and you just kind of go straight up, and then you just kind of jam it around like that. Okay, that's how we stipple. Anytime you're doing something new, it is better to kind of try it out on your palette to see. So if you have an older paintbrush, you know, with kind of older bristles in it, it's probably better to do. But if you have a newer one, you can do it and then just clean it afterwards so that so it's not ruined. Okay? All right, so we're just going to stipple all inside of the whole heart here. All of the inside of it's going to be red.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty red.
Pretty, right? Isn't it pretty red?
You know what that needs, though?
What does it need?
Some sparkles.
Some glitter.
Glitter.
How many glitter fiends do I have? I usually always have a couple people that are like, I want to put glitter in everything. It really would make it really shine. Actually, glitter would make it a pretty background instead of for the stars, wouldn't it?
You could do glitter for both.
Yep. And if you do decide to do glitter, one, if you're painting, if you're just watching tonight, you're going to paint a different time. Whenever you're done with this and it's still wet, you can just dump it on there at that point, and it'll stick to it because the paint is wet. If you don't have glitter and you're painting now and you want to go back and paint another time, then all you have to do is just repaint the heart so it's wet and put it on there. Although they do also make glitter paint too.
Glitter and my favorite color, clear.
And your favorite color, clear. This also would be very cool done in the whole thing would be very cool done in with neon over it. In neon colors or glow in the dark colors, it would be kind of cool to see it done in colors like that. So you're just going to kind of stipple all the inside of the heart, and then you're going to bravely stipple. If you look, let's see. Don't stop. You can't get it to show.
Here, let me help
I just
you.
want to show those right there. And then the painting has like the hearts flying off of it towards the moon. Can you see it? There we go. It has the hearts kind of flying off of it towards the moon. So you're gonna use the picture, maybe it's better. The picture of it. Okay.
Fun.
So then we're just gonna bravely, lightly at first, kind of just stipple over towards the moon, like all the little things are falling off the tree towards the moon there. Or you could stipple other little hearts in there.
Sort of like it's being sucked into like the time warp.
Let's do the time warp again. Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Who can name that movie? What was that movie from? Now, the middle of the heart actually has black in it. If you can imagine that, a black heart. So we're going to squirt out some black. And we're just going to keep the same brush. Just keep it. And just stick it in here. And then we're just going to kind of start in the middle of the heart and stipple in the middle of the heart. And just keep doing it until it's kind of a muddy color, so it's not so stark. Okay, so put the black in there and then just make it so it's not so stark in there. Can we see? Yeah, there we go. And you can make this kind of as big as you feel like it looks right on there. And then just keep messing with it until it kind of fades out so it's not such a stark black color. Just kind of keep building it in there. All right. Ta-da! And that's the heart.
Yay. Okay, that's awesome. All right, I think it's time for our fourth question.
Fourth. All right, we have our car left to do and our cliff and our grass. So good. So this is black, so I'm going to ruin my water with this.
All right, let me read the last question.
All right.
No, I'm so sorry.
You have two more.
I have two more.
Yep.
Let me put that one over there so we don't get confused. Okay. You ready?
I am red-eye.
Okay, so since all of you are so used to wearing masks out there, you mask lovers, shame on you. No, sorry. Question. Name someone who actually gets paid to wear a mask.
To wear a mask.
Wear a mask. All of us fools are not getting paid.
Right. We need the money.
So name someone who gets paid to wear a mask. I'll take the top 3 answers.
All
Maybe
right.
4. Some of them are pretty good.
Who wears a mask for work? And it's not Batman, right? No? I don't think I was supposed to say that.
Just stop. Okay, surgeon. Number 1 answer.
Who got that? Andrea, yay. What did Brittany say? Brittany was sending them on my phone. Mama said lots of stippling going on. Dentist. We were just talking about the dentist. That's right. All right. While everyone's finishing putting their answers in to who wears a mask and gets paid for it, what we're going to do is just paint the inside of the couple and the car. Okay. And remember, on the car, it actually has windows here. Don't paint inside the windows because you would actually be looking through the windows. So we're going to paint around the windows. I'm just going to do that first to kind of show you what I mean. I can't believe I didn't get any paint on my clothes yet. That's a miracle for me. Okay, so that's what I mean about leaving the windows. Make sure you just leave the windows unpainted, okay?
She says, don't jinx yourself, Andrea said.
I know, right? The night is young.
All right.
All right, Amy said a clown wears a mask.
Clown, that is number 3 on my list.
It is really? Oh my gosh.
For those of you Northerners, how about a hockey goalie?
Really? That's not fair. In Florida, we would have never thought of that.
Never, ever would have guessed that.
Okay, so we're going to fill in.
Mama's yelling at you. She says, that's one of your new tops.
I know. I was hoping. Is this the one that we have, that she got us alike? Tell her it was the only red thing I had.
That's not true. I won't lie to your mother.
It was the only suitable red thing I had to wear. I tried on something red, but he didn't think it was appropriate, so that was that.
Wasn't kid friendly.
All right, so we're just going to finish up our car here. I am using, you could use your black marker if you wanted to do all the inside of this. I'm sure that's fine. I have a smaller black brush that I'm using. You could almost use an eyeliner pencil to do this, or a cotton swab, especially in these smaller areas here, okay? And it's perfectly fine if you don't have a smaller brush and you don't feel like you have anything small enough to get any small areas. If you want to just wait and do the smaller areas a different time, that's absolutely fine too. And if you're watching and you didn't get the pattern and you want it, just message me your email. I'll send you the list for the paints and the brushes that I'm using. But like I said, you know you can definitely use your own. And you could I mean, this is really cool with it in a silhouette and everything, but it doesn't have to be a silhouette. If you want, you know, if this reminds you of an old purple beetle that you used to have, if you want to make it into the love bug, you can do that as well. All right. And so the next area we're going to do is the tree trunk, and I'm going to start in the middle just for a reason. And I'm using the brush. I'm kind of going at the bottom. I kind of am going down like this a little bit as though it had roots. So I'm making it kind of uneven. And you can make this a solid trunk if you want to, or you can make it into separate tree limbs, like have it come up like that. And we could even go over here and make another one over here. So however you want to do it, or you can just make the whole thing a solid trunk. You can make the trunk fatter if you want to. You could have made it brown if you want to. So I just like for people, you know, just encourage people to use their imagination and make it their own. So however you want to do it's absolutely fine. So that's kind of what it looks like with the silhouette done. Fairly easy, right? And then with the tree done. So the next thing we're going to work on is going to be the cliff and the grass area. And then we'll go back and see what highlights we want to do, if we want to do any highlights in there. So let me grab our other colors. That's bad when you're trying to dye it.
Hi, my name is Quirky.
Again, we've been watching really dumb TV shows. We're desperate. Paper towel.
You're interrupting my puppet show.
I'm so sorry.
This is what happens when you're good. And this is what happens when you're bad.
I was bad. I confess. I was bad. I already ate it.
It's gone.
All right. So we're going to work on the inside of the cliff area first. I'm gonna go.
Change the water.
Sure.
Here. Switch.
One for you. One for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you. I would advise that when you have your water, you have it on the side that you use. So if you're right-handed, have your water here instead of on the left, like I currently have mine. Because if you have it on the left and you go wash your brush and it still has water on you, drag it across, it's gonna get on your painting like mine does every now and then. Okay? All right. So we're gonna do the cliff area, and so the cliff is, you know, basically kind of, you know, like rough rocks or rough rocks and grass and those kind of things like that. The paint list calls for the raw umber and a couple colors green, but it's grass. So whatever color greens you want to use is absolutely fine. I have a marsh green. I thought that was suitable for a grassy area, so I'm going to use the marsh green.
Marsha?
Marsha. No, where is Marsha though? And the
Marsha, where are you, Marsha?
And this is the medium foliage, so I thought that was completely appropriate to use for the grassy area that we're going to do. With the cliff area, I'm going to use the brown umber and pick up a little bit of, the raw umber, and pick up a little bit of black. And I'm going to use that rough brush I used earlier for stippling. I'm going to use that, and we're going to do like short choppy strokes, okay? And I'll show you what I mean, because that's kind of how the edge of the cliff is going to look. So we're going to just pick up the paint, and then as we're painting, we're just going to do short little choppy strokes like that, okay? All right, so it's going to kind of look like this. Now this top area here is the green grass area. Like right across here is the green grass area. And this half circle here that looks like maybe a shark's mouth or something. This little half circle looking area here, I'll just kind of outline it real quick.
Okay, show them the picture for you.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going to do this. That's kind of the cliff area. So.
Oh, it's like a big shark. You put an eyeball like right there.
Yeah, it looks like a shark. So it's kind of, like a half oval. Like half a football maybe.
Or a whale.
Yeah. So that should be enough visuals for you. And so we're just going to start, and we're just going to do short, choppy little strokes like this. Because it's going to be just choppy. Chop, 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 chop.
Need some more water in that?
That's all blue there now.
So, here. It's my drinking water. Don't tell anybody.
All right, so we're just going chop, 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 chop like that. Back and forth like that in here. That's kind of just covering this area in here. And you're going to see, after a while, you'll start seeing like, oh yeah, that cliff is starting to take form there. It's going to make sense. And some of the areas are going to be darker with the brown. Some are going to be lighter. Some are going to be spottier. We're just going to kind of go in there, create some shading and spacing in there. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow. All right. While we're waiting for this to get all chopped up. You make my heart sing. You make everything. Wow, wow, I think I love you. All right. How's our cliffs looking? Looking good. All right. So, I gotta put a little bit more brown umber on here. Used it all up. There we go. Make sure you close your tops as you use your paints, because otherwise when you go to use them, they'll have dried up inside and you squeeze it and it'll make a big nasty claw.
Mama liked that.
She liked that. She's the one that got it for you. So I'm going to mix just a little bit, excuse me. I'm going to mix just a little bit of the black and brown together, and I'm going to kind of go around the edges to create a little bit of shading. So we want to put just a little bit of darker area right underneath the edge of where the cliff hangs over here.
Oh, you missed a spot.
No way. And then there's going to be more like go kind of into this area here. A little bit darker. And again, we're going to shade it a little bit, and then we're going to finish the other areas, and then go back and look at it and see if we think it looks like it needs more, okay?
I think I'm going to do winner take all on the next question. The first person with the number one answer to text me, comment, will be the winner.
But what about people that text faster than other people?
It's a tough world out there, baby.
All right, so that's kind of how the cliff looks. And we're going to do the same thing for the grassy area. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that off of my brush. That was the raw umber. And you can see I did a little bit of shading here. Once everything's filled in, you'll see how that kind of helps it kind of pop off of there. So I have I'm going to put two different colors of green down.
Another plate. Another plate.
I think I'm going to do it right on top of the red here. I'm going to do like two different colors of green. Wow, those two colors are so similar though. Okay, still using the same brush. I hope you guys have a ready brush you're using so it's not ruining your other one. And I'm just going to kind of pull the two colors together. And we're just going to go back to chopping. We're going to make grass on the top of this area here, on the top of the cliff, okay?
Okay.
So we're just doing choppy again.
I'm going to have a piece of this.
What are you eating over there? My chocolate, my chocolate.
It's good though. I never got you that. Had good taste.
Continue to chop away with the grass here. I actually like to have a couple of different colors of green together that are more contrasting than the ones I chose. So I'm going to use this lighter green called Seafoam, just so it has some light and dark. And I'm going to put it beside this one and then do the double load like I showed you earlier. Half the brush, not quite half on this one and there. So if you have two different colors of green you want to do, and if you like it looking like that, then do that. It gives it just a little bit more depth. Or you could add even some yellow in there. But we're just making just a little grassy cliff here. The grass can go over the tires a little bit because they would anyway. And they can go over the edge of the cliff a little bit because it would anyway. And we're just going to chop, 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 chop. And I hope you like the double loading like this. I just think it adds just some kind of depth to it and some reality to it because grass is not all the same color and gives it a little bit of depth and space.
Yeah, it's not always greener on the other side either.
That's very true. It's definitely not green on the other side.
Just be happy with the grass that you have.
That's right. And share it with your neighbors. Okay, so I'm going to go along and always make sure you paint the sides. So while you're there, even though it's not part of the fun part of painting, be sure to paint those sides in.
What if you used a big brush for that?
That would be a good texture. I just would like a couple different colors of green. And same thing here along the edges of here with the cliff. Go up into the cliff because the grass would be growing up like into the edge of it, okay? So just kind of overlap into it, however you want there. Later, you could go back, add some flowers in there if you wanted to, some trees, some animals. I don't know what kind of animals would live here.
Goats.
Goats, little baby mountain
Maybe
goats.
little white, great mountain goats.
Those would be so cute there. Yeah, can you imagine he's trying to propose up there and all of a sudden you start hearing those stupid mountain goats? Remember to go along the sides and get your sides here. Please let me know if you need me to slow down or where you're at.
And when you guys are all done, please send us your pictures,
Yes.
questions, comments.
Recipes. Okay, I'm just going to paint along the bottom of mine. This is a fun painting. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We amuse ourselves, so what else are you going to do this pandemic time? And same thing with the grass here. It actually is the closest thing, so it would be kind of growing over the ocean area. You can draw some little crabbies in here, little turtles. And see if you're holding it just straight up on the edge, on the end like this, it's going to have that nice spiky look for, or you could leave like a little area open here, like it's a beach area. Totally yours to make however you want to make.
What else should I do after that?
That is really it, except for maybe some more shading.
Well, I'm going to read the last question then.
He's going to read the last question because other than the grassy area and a little bit more shading, we're almost done with this fun Love on the Lookout. All right,
Okay.
Don't get your shirt in the paint.
Okay. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make this question.
Family friendly.
Family friendly.
No politics.
No politics.
No religion.
Isn't that a song?
I
Maybe not.
don't think so.
Okay. And I'm not asking this about you, okay? Because you're perfect.
Uh-oh.
So she's perfect. So this is.
Uh-oh.
All right. Name something that some people do, but not you. Not you.
Okay. This is going to be bad, folks. Brace
Name
yourself.
something that some people do nonstop.
Can I name what you're...
No.
Oh.
No. So the question is, name something that some people do, not including Deb, that they do nonstop.
That's annoying?
Doesn't that, that's up to you.
All right, continue to work on
family
your grassy,
friendly.
Continue to work on your grassy area.
All right, I got one response. Not on the board though, so that's an X.
What was it?
Complain.
I said talk. That was what I was going to say, talk. Talk is exactly what I was going to say. That's what Nick's ex-wife used to do too much of.
Hey, family friendly.
Some people never shut up. Oh my God.
That's complaining. That's not on the list. I gotta erase this message now. I'm gonna have to go back and edit now. All right. I'm not gonna say what the number one answer is.
Why?
Because I want to see what everybody else puts their foot in the mouth with.
All right. All right. We're going to continue to accept comments on that until we're through painting, just because he's curious what other people think people do too much, because mine was definitely talk. And that's all I do all day of my paid job.
Mama says, Mom, I don't know if I can repeat that.
Everybody can see it. What'd she say?
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's funny, Mama. Yep.
Okay. So when we're done with the grassy area, which I kind of am, then for me, I just like to go back and just kind of look at it and see where I kind of miss, if it looks like it needs more shading in some place, or if I have too much shading in some place, or kind of what else I can do to it. I feel like my grass isn't separated enough, so I'm actually just gathering up some darker colors and I'm just kind of adding them in there kind of sporadically, adding kind of grass here and there just to have the darker grass in there so it's separated more so it doesn't look like one big blob. And then, as the canvas soaks up the paint, you'll see there'll be all kinds of little white areas that didn't get covered. And so I go back and kind of cover those as well. And just kind of go in there and cover those. All right.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know who said that, but breathe is not a very nice answer.
They breathe too much.
They breathe nonstop.
Oh. Snore.
Oh, that's not nice. That's funny, though. I don't care where you are. It's funny.
Chew. They chew. They chew on there.
They say a lot.
All right. So I like this a lot. To me, it's starting to turn out really, really good. So some of the things that I would just go back and do that you don't have to, but you could go back and do. As you saw, I kind of went back and just added darker color to my green to kind of separate it out and give it some depth. And then I'm just going to real lightly just get my brush wet and just make some milky white, and just kind of, because the moon would also kind of be shining across this grass here. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of just white highlight kind of in here, and just kind of stipple it in, because the moon would actually be, the light would just kind of be shining down this way. And so I'm just going to kind of rub that in a little bit so it makes it look like it's a little bit lighter here because the moon is shining that way. It would probably be a little bit darker along the edge there for the sky. So you might want to go back in and just add just a little bit darker color along the edge of here to kind of put some shadowing in there to kind of separate it out, or any other area like that. You might think that maybe the moon should have like more waves, be shining brighter on the water, so you could kind of go back and add some brighter colors along the water, or maybe it has some waves in there. So those are just some other things that you can do. If it ends up being too light or too dark, you can always go back over it. And yeah, so those are just some kind of things that I would do, that I see. And I also thought about, there's also, you could add some pink into the tree, or some purple, if purple's your favorite color. You could add some other colors into the tree. If you kind of get some pink and stipple it in, you could stipple, a little bit of pink around.
Is that like a stipple? Is that like a Renin stipple?
That's stipples. I think that was an old iron thing or something. All right. Or you could, like I said, you could add some pink. You could add some more white. You could go in and add you can make the tree fatter here and add some initials in there if you wanted to make it fatter. And you could put your initials on there, make a heart with your initials on there, or another heart on there. But other than that, that is mostly, for the most part, ta-da!
Wow, that looks
the
really
love
good.
on the outlook.
Very good.
Thank you.
So if you guys enjoyed this tonight, please like us on our Facebook page. Please follow us on our Facebook, not a fake book.
Well, that's what it is these days.
Our Facebook page. And leave your questions and comments down below.
Yeah, please leave your pictures. And then Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday this week, we're doing the Dragon and Friend, which he's adorable too. He's a silhouette too. And then, like I said, next Saturday night, the painting that we cannot for the life of us at this current moment remember which one it is we're doing.
Yeah, we'll find it though.
Yeah, we'll find it.
And
we'll
if you're
show
following us on our Facebook page,
Yep,
you'll
you'll
see
see
pictures
it.
of it.
And then we're going to have everybody that attends and posts a picture. I'm going to send them one of the bracelets. Thank you guys for participating in Family
Yes.
Feud. We're going to tally up the score after we clean everything up, and we will email. We're going to post who the winner is, and then we're going to email that person a gift card. We have a lot of fun things coming up. We have some St. Patrick's Day paintings coming up. We have a Easter Bunny challenge coming up where we have a couple days in a row where we're going to be doing Easter bunnies. So it'll be fun. Again, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you guys for taking time out of your day to join us. Hope you had as much fun as we did. If you have any questions, answers, suggestions, good recipes, send them right away. We appreciate you guys.
Bye now.